What is up, legends? We are back in the outer plane. So as you guys can see, congratulations, you have completed the available story mode. Thank you for participating in the closed beta test. Please let us know if you thought about what you thought about the game. We will reflect on your improvement. Caution, closed beta data will be synced with the next test and the official launch. So obviously there's going to be a next test after this. I don't know if I'm gonna go as hard as I did in this test as on the next test. I'll probably definitely be trying it because this is actually a really good game, and I want to take this time to actually, tell them, because I was basically told that they actually seen the stuff that I said before, so that's a good thing. It's always good when the company pays attention. So with that said, how did I feel? So I finished all the content at level 27. I did it basically with this team, with Valentine, Rona, Kay here and there to satisfy the defender role, Marion and Ava. I just didn't change out of Ava because she did the job properly without me having to do anything. So that's fine. Here and there, I did use Edith and Lynn and Snow and Leisha. The problem with Lynn is that she's a striker and Rona is a striker. And Rona is overall, even though Lynn is the banner character, Rona is more useful because Rona AoE shield breaks people basically with her defense. So that made her useful. But when there was times when I needed to actually be a little bit more bruiser, then I would use Lynn. But for the most part, the characters were all fun to use that I did actually use. I got to use, as you can see, about 8 or 9 for the most part. And you get to use characters in story as well. So I got to mess around with them a little bit there. I had no problem with that. And no problem with any of this. This is where we put the gear at. I had no problem making gear, which is amazing. I had no problem getting this stuff, and the game actually provides you a lot of good gear as well. So all of that worked out well. The gameplay experience was all very smooth. There is problems that we're going to talk about in a bit, but for the most part, gearing the character, I didn't even have to think really about gearing the character, and that's the whole point when you do a game properly. With Epic 7 itself, you have to think too much and spend too much of your time trying to worry about gearing your character, still even to this day, to that point, which is why I'm saying again, Smilegate, everything that you did in this game right here with gear, do it in Epic 7. You like that'll change a lot of Epic 7 that we have to we waste so much time grinding and farming for gear in Epic 7. That makes me not want to do it because I have almost 100 characters in that game, and just it literally takes a week to do one character. It's a little bit better than what it was before, but it still takes way too long. You should be able to gear a character in a day. And the gacha and the environment, even as a free-to-play player, you still should be able to do that in a day. Even if you put ridiculous gear on it or something like that, or maybe trash gear or something like that, it should still be usable and viable to take something on, or even take into PvP in one day. And you can do that in this game. You can do that in this game, which is why I'm you can do that in Epic 7. So since we're doing a whole what we feel about everything, I feel that should be possible. The charms and exclusive gear, and the way that you can increase your skills. Even the transcend is easier because there is a shop straight up for that where you get pieces basically for getting dupe stuff in summons, which is again extremely easy. I don't have to think about it. I know the shop is here. I know when I get enough currency, even if I don't get the character that I want, I'll be able to get pieces and use those pieces on something else, which is good. Which I will show again a problem with that in a different game, which is Blue Archive. Blue Archive all the way around. Their whole gacha is absolute garbage, and it holds the game down. It just is. And the rates are garbage. Everything about it. I like Blue Archive as a game, but the gacha part of Blue Archive is bad. And this is a good example of when gacha right here is actually working properly, that even if you don't get something, it can actually benefit you somewhere else, and it carries over. Not that when the thing is up, to make you get pushed into a pay-to-win situation, because that's exactly what that's doing. That is pushing you into a pay-to-win situation because the time ran out. You don't get anything for what you had spent. So if you spent $100 to $200, $300 to $400 on a banner, you lose all of that worth, and it just gives you like some BS currency that maybe you can use somewhere else. Like, you know, it's just not, you should, whatever that you want to spend something on, you should be able to do that with no RNG with that involved, because that's just a pay to win issue right there. And it's a pay to win, it's a self-inflicted pay to win issue too that shouldn't be there. But again, the reason why we're talking about that is because this game did not do that to you. This game isn't doing it to you right now. Keep it this way is what I'm trying to say. That's fine. You will make money. Trust me, you will make money. Everybody who is going to see this video is going to see that, oh, it's like that. I can actually go out, and even if I don't get stuff that I want, I can actually make things that I need and make it be useful. Bam, you're fine. You don't need to mess with it. That's why I'm trying to reiterate, because they're gonna take everything into account. So if we don't say things, then there's a big problem with that, because then it's like friends and family, and sometimes game companies with friends and family have bad friends and family who are not testers. Just because, you know, they're friends and family doesn't mean that they're supposed to be tested. So then they get bad like advice and just make really bad choices, and then the game is just garbage. First impressions are always the most important thing in gaming, in the gaming industry. And act Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is still trying to get people to not call them garbage. And Cyberpunk right now, especially after the 1.6 update, is a good game. But because it came out so bad, because it was so trash in the beginning, that they'll never be able to overturn that. So it's unfortunate, but that's just the way that things are. That's just human nature. Next up, base. Base is the most lit thing in this game. And you want to know the reason why? It's because it allows you to purposely go after whatever you want, basically. So if you want to be focused on making gear and build towards your character, you will head down to Kate's workshop. And what's in Kate's workshop is the ability to progressively go and unlock crafting gear. Now you see, I can actually go down. Now I have the opportunity now to make level 5 gear, or star 5 gear, and you're gonna notice that again, this is just, you know, free to play. Obviously I haven't spent anything because it's a CBT and everything else like this, so I now have that unlocked. But on top of all of that, you can increase what updates you can actually give to the gear. You can reduce the materials that you need on that, so that means less farming. You can do that again right now. You can reduce the cost of actually spending anything on the farming. So what ends up happening over time, which this is just basically over time, because you automatically are going to get this currency up here that I'm pinging over time. And what that's going to do is that sooner or later you're going to get all the way down to unlock 6, and then unlock legendary crafting, and then down to abrasive. Now you see, I'm actually already close to being able to do that. Another 3 or 4 days, I'll be able to actually start doing that and unlock that. And that's, again, I don't have to think. All I have to do is show up and do it properly. Now you would think that, oh, well, this is like making it noob friendly. And you know what? Some things don't need to be rocket science. Like, they just don't. You just, like, it just needs to work. You just need to get in and play the game and know that, you know what, I'm going to show up at this point in time, and all I have to do is know that I need attack gear, or I need speed gear, or that I need defense gear, or I need health gear, and know that I need to get the highest starter possible. How do I do that? Come into the gear 6 on the managed facility, and then unlock it, and then go and make it. Like, you don't need that freaking go to a wiki to learn how to do this stuff. You don't need to actually go to somebody's YouTube channel and then they sit there for like a half hour telling you about min max and flat stats and percents, and then tell you that you need to grind for a goddamn week and hunts just to get an item, so you can do it one damn time and it fail and turn into something with flat stats, and then you got to refresh it again and then break it down, and then it becomes 1/10 of what you just spent. So you basically just got back a quarter of the 7 days that you just spent just to do that shit all over again. Like, that is what Epic 7 is right now, and that is what this isn't. Just gonna point that out. Anyway, next up is a supplier, and the reason why this is good is that this allows you to actually go in and you see, like, you just start to make more benefit over all your inventory, and then you like your daily refreshes go up, your item refresh right there goes up, the sale level goes up, and that's just basically the store and what's going to be in the store. And then as you get down to the bottom, you start to get really good stuff in the store where you basically be able to buy 4, 5, and 6 star type of stuff, including legendary stuff, which if you didn't want to go through all this, then you can just go straight buy it and then it'd be cheaper. Again, you don't have to really worry about that. Search team basically allows you, again, EXP stuff. This is just the raw stuff that you get for going into the base. Black market research, EXP focus, and it just gets better. Then you start being able to go and do better searches, and as you can see, it just ends up getting better and better. And then the anti-particle is kind of like the overall, like this is how you upgrade the idle section of it, if you care about doing the idle section of this. And then you got the clear tickets too, where you get more clear tickets and you start to get to the point where you can actually just speed through all this stuff. So for this particular video playthrough, what I actually did is I focused more on Kate's workshop so I can make gear and see how beneficial that is, because that's the one major contention that I have with a lot of games, with how badly that they are made with their, when it comes to the whole gear situation. Like all the most of all the gacha games, which is garbage overall when it comes to the gear situation. As far as side stories, the side story was all cool. I did all of them. They were pretty lit. It allows you to get the base characters, because these are the base characters right here, which is Ava Snow and I think this Iris. And then I didn't actually do this one because I was uninterested, but this is Rona's, and it doesn't make you have to do anything. You don't need to have to do anything for that. So yeah, there's neither here nor there with that. Challenge wise, all of this is really lit, and the simple fact that you can just sit up here and stop it. So you can sit up here and just go ahead and then hit consecutive battle, and the game will basically play for as long as it can win. It'll spoil because it just literally said it unlocked up 39, which means I'll probably lose at 39. But you upgrade your characters and you get EXP and you get items or all the stuff right here. Like, it's just a really cool tower mode that you don't have to actually go crazy about until it becomes a point. When it stops and it doesn't win, that's the point where you need the manual. And you can actually win from that point, but you're gonna have to manually win and change up strategies and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind, that even though it'll stop and say you lost or something else like that, but you can still win after that point with basically player skill. The same thing goes for the special request, ecology, identification, and archdemon ruins. All of this stuff, manual skill is prevalent. So auto-win is not going to work out for you right here, because the bosses have mechanics that you're going to manually need to pay attention to, and the AI isn't going to pay attention to it. The AI just tries to fight and do whatever optimal at that point in time. It doesn't adjust to whatever the boss is doing, and the bosses are like, they're doing emote type of stuff and say, I'm going to hit you with this really big thing, or I'm going to stun you, or I'm going to do this, that, and the third, and the AI doesn't adjust to that. So you have to actually adjust to that, and that's how you beat those bosses. Bounty hunter, bandit chase, and all the rest of it is just the usual farming, which you would normally do. So yeah. And last but not least, we come in. I'm not going to spoil the fight. If you want to go and actually do it, go ahead and do it, because some people may want to actually play the game when this is at launch, and this is probably going to be a video that people are going to watch at launch, so I don't want to spoil fights. But the fight, actually, I lost the first time because the boss just basically overwhelmed me at that point, and I had to go and figure out what to do with him, which is good, which is optimal for most stuff that you need to do. So just keep that in mind. And then just go into summon. This is gonna be the last thing we do, and this is gonna be the last video because there's nothing left for me to really do besides the side mission. I'm not gonna make another video for the side mission because who cares? Just roll the side mission. But the game's pretty cool. It's heavily waifu, and there's not a lot of characters in the game right now, but that's probably gonna definitely change. And they're gonna get, people are going to play this game. They just are. People are going to spin this game. It's probably gonna be a big hit, just the same way Epic 7 was. And they have the good emphasis that for it to not end up in the same pitfalls as Epic 7. Now, dev team, what I'm suggesting to you, even though you're probably not going to listen to me, is not to make this game focus off of PvP like Epic 7 because you're going to ruin it. And you're going to end up in the same boat that Epic 7 is, and where the game basically gets balanced around PvP, and then nobody is doing the PvE because it's not fun. And then the PvE that you are doing is grinding for gear that takes forever just so you can actually do something in PvP, because that became the end game because the company focused on that. That is not the proper way to do gacha. Nobody likes esports that you can actually pay to win, and that's not skillful gameplay. Nobody likes it. Nobody will ever like it. Only people who have deep pockets ever like that because they can actually win at something that they don't have to get good at. That is all that is at the end of the day. That is when, and I know a lot of people, I hate to say it like that, but I know a lot of people are going to be upset, but you know damn well that you're wailing. And a lot of the reason why you're winning in that type of game when it's considered like an esport is because you wailed and you got super badass gear. Don't make it anything other than what it is at the end of the day. Now you got good at using your nuclear weapons that you paid for, but okay, so we got something here. But don't make it anything outside of what that is. And I'm telling you right now, company, even though you may think that might be a little bit lucrative at the end of the day, the gaming culture does not like that. They just don't. Oh, we didn't get anything. So, what? I thought we did. So does it, when it's a star sparkle on him, does that mean? Yeah, okay, I get it now. We got more Ava. And what I'm basically doing right now is I'm expending all of the currency that they gave me. Just because I'm gonna lose it all anyway. Okay. So that's hype. But did you just give me a dupe? Oh wow, I got Veronica. And then now I have nothing to do with her because I wanted Veronica. That's the one tank that I wanted to get because she's just amazing. Even her special is amazing. Her special, she basically blows the planet up. Not kidding. Planet done. Planet over. She does what Lucy does in several Mortal Sins. Fenrir is a good looking character too. And that's all I really have for you guys. I hope the dev team listens with the whole PvP, PvE thing. Take it from Genshin, take it from Tower of Fantasy. That makes you millions. PvP, that is not skill based, that you can pay to win, does not make you millions. It just doesn't. It doesn't. As a matter of fact, you can actually take a look at Summoner's War. Summoner's War is really niche. It's really niche. You may get whales and then people to mess around with it, but you ain't making millions, close to billions. Not with that. Now you guys don't have to listen. You don't, but Y'all want to make money. Y'all want to get bonuses and go on vacation with your wives and your girlfriends or your boyfriends or whatever that you want to do. Smilegate. Y'all need to figure it out and not make the same mistake again. And I'm telling you, yes, that was a mistake, because you just basically, like, a lot of people like Epic 7 for the game that it is, but that's fandom overtaking the fact that you kind of ruined everything when you lean more towards esports. And like, as soon as you come into the game, the first thing you see is you trying to pitch esports. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work like that. If you want to actually do stuff like that, you have to make it even across the board. That, okay, somebody got something like that, or matter of fact, no. This is what I was gonna say. No. Well, I'm gonna tell you, if you want to make that even across the board, everybody has all the characters in ranked PvP. If it's going to be esport, everybody has all the characters and they can pick from the lineup, because that's what KOF All Stars does. They give you everybody, even though you can't get everybody outside, like in PvE like that, without whaling and stuff like that. But when you go into PvP on PvP events, they give you everybody. You basically can choose, and then they basically tell you get good. Get good and win at that point. Epic 7 and then OuterPlane devs, if you're going to go that route, which you probably will, you need to make it even out, where everybody has all the characters, and then basically it becomes a point of who used meta properly, who learned to use the game properly, who learned, and I know whales ain't gonna like this, because they can, but my authority, no, but shut up. But go get good and play the game. And stop using your credit card to bully people. Because it's just, it's not enjoyable. It's not an enjoyable game experience. It's enjoyable for you, but you know, people are selfish. They like to do stuff like that. As far as the rest of the community don't like that. That's why you always see people say pay to win and stuff like this. And then in the forums, you literally have millions of people saying they hate it. As a game company, I would never, and I'm saying this as somebody who's striving in that particular field right now, I will never want to have thousands upon thousands of people on this planet literally say that my game is pay to win, it's not fair, they don't like it, everybody, like, they don't want to play it. And then you got people memeing your game, you got people calling you a trash dev, and I would never want that for the sake of $1. Never for the sake of $1. I don't care what nationality you came from, there is no way that you should ever think that that's okay. So that is my feedback. When it said give your feedback, I just gave you a video version of it, which you're probably gonna have a whole bunch of people ringing that sentiment in the comment section and basically telling you the same damn thing, that please don't ruin this game, because you got a good game right now. This is a hit. This is a banger. This is literally your $1 billion game right here that you have right here. As long as you just put characters in it and keep stuff that you have right now, this is your hit. Do not mess this up. Be legendary, y'all. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.